All right, everyone, welcome back into another NBA DFS video. Going to be breaking down the 5-game slate that we have today on Tuesday. Let's go ahead and get into it. So let's start out here with the first game that we have tonight, which is going to be the Washington Wizards versus the Philadelphia 76ers, guys. The big news that we are actually waiting on in tonight's game is going to be whether or not Paul George ends up playing. I am expecting him to play based off of the news that we have kind of gotten. It was, good to go at the Tuesday morning shoot around, and that typically indicates that he should be active in this game. If he is, that does hurt Quentin Grimes a little bit, okay? Both these plays are kind of just shoulder shrug plays if the other one is also active. If one of them ends up sitting, then the other becomes a very good play. Now, Paul George as price tag, if he ends up getting around the same minutes that he has been able to get recently, 28 minutes, then he ends up being a pretty interesting play to me at this price tag, but he's also not someone we necessarily need to go out of our way to target. We do like Tyrese Maxey a decent amount here in this matchup here against Washington. Not exactly a game that I feel like we need to go out of our way to target. Washington is coming in off of the back end of a back-to-back in a game that they beat my Milwaukee Bucks in, with Kevin Porter Jr. getting injured late in that game. A little bit annoying there. But one of the players that we were getting for last night's game was Marvin Bagley due to Alex Sarr being out. He is someone that we are going to be looking at again. He is still too cheap. I don't really get the pricing mistakes that they were doing with him. And if we go ahead and look up the data, guys, the data has him as a 7x value play tonight, and I agree with that. The issue is they are coming in on the back end of the back-to-back. Maybe it does end up being Tristan instead at the center spot. I do think you should be mixing both of them into your builds. Cam Whitmore, to me, is also going to be an appealing value play on this slate. He's not getting that much love, but it really doesn't take much for him. If he ends up getting 25 minutes instead of 23, could easily end up being a 5x play. I think he ends up being a pretty good value. And then for what's worth, we'll show you guys Philly here in terms of the top plays. Yes, Maxey is popping up as a good value. Justin Edwards casually popping up. I don't think we need to get there. McCain is a little bit interesting if George and also Grimes sit. If Grimes sits, I think McCain is also going to be a very appealing play. So lots to be on the lookout for in this game come lineup lock, so just be double checking that. And then we go heading into Portland versus Toronto, guys. Portland is likely to be without Donovan Yang in this game. That's kind of what I'm expecting here for him. He does have an illness, though, so you never know exactly what happens with that. And so who would end up benefiting with him being out? We could look at Robert Williams a little bit. He's priced up enough. That's why we're prioritizing Bagley over him. Denny Avdia is someone that I really don't mind. He's obviously went off the last 2 games. Getting a little bit more work and usage in general with Shadion Sharp coming in off of the bench. And so that makes me really like Denny Avdia a little bit more if that continues to happen. So if we get that confirmed, the confirmed starting lineup, that Sharp is on the bench, I do think we look at Denny Avdia a little bit. And then Jeremiah Grant, I do think would be a little bit more appealing as well if Donovan Yang ends up sitting. And then for Toronto, I actually like into Jakob Poeltl in this game. He feels a little bit too cheap. And so he is someone that, if he does get to around 30 minutes, I do think he ends up being a viable option for us. And if we look at the projected minutes, he is projected right around 28, so we would need him to get a little bit more than that. And we'll look at the other side of this, guys, Portland here. Who's popping up the most for Portland? Denny Avdia is going to be that play. Again, if Yang is out, then we are looking at some other options there as well. So for me, guys, New York versus Boston, there isn't actually much that I like for either team in regards to me wanting to go out of my way to target any of them. They're just all pretty much priced correctly. I'll show you guys what the projection data is saying as well. For Boston, Garza a little bit, but I don't think we really need to get there. Queta is somewhat interesting, but we are getting plenty of other center options on the site to the point where we don't need to get to him. And then we go ahead and take a peek at the Knicks, guys. Yeah, just really not much there. If you want to get to Jalen Brunson, you can. I'm fine riding the hot hand with Josh Hart, who over the past several games has just been going off. I do see him as more of a shoulder shrug play, like someone that you're going to close out your build with, not someone you are starting your build out with. And then we go ahead and jump into Memphis versus San Antonio. So Keldon Johnson's kind of an interesting play to me. He should continue to get some additional run, and I do think he's going to be a safe kind of almost 5x value play with the upside to go off for a little bit more. But really in this game, it does feel like we are kind of getting players priced correctly. Zach Edey is someone that just went off in the last game, but for the most part, is priced correctly. Now, could we see him go off once again? Sure. I like chasing the upside of him. I just don't think we need to go out of our way to target him, but he is appealing. Again, we're getting plenty of center plays on the slate. That's kind of the difficult part that I'm seeing. And if we look at the value, guys, they do have about 4.93 for the value there for him. We take a peek at the San Antonio Spurs. Really not much there for them again. So we jump on into the late game for the slate. Bay is someone that I do find interesting, guys. He is someone that I would love to ride the hot hand with for the Pelicans if we get news that Jordan Hawkins and or Trey Murphy were to end up being out, to become a much more appealing play as well. After that, Alvarado's like okay value if you guys need to get there. Bryce McGowan's somewhat interesting there as well. Micah Peavy as well to me is somewhat interesting here as well. So we are getting some pretty good value, especially if Murphy and Jordan Hawkins are going to be out there for the Pelicans. So that's something we should be paying attention to. And then for Minnesota, I feel like everyone's basically priced correctly. Dante DiVincenzo, maybe there's a little bit of value there. I don't mind that, but again, he's going to be kind of someone that if I end up on him, I'm okay getting to him. I'm not someone I'm starting my builds out with. And again, we just show you guys the data as it currently sits right now. Rudy Gobert a little bit, McDaniels and Dante kind of likes there. And then the flip side of this game, guys, it is a 10-point spread. Should call that out. But again, not much there. I like Bay. Again, he becomes much more appealing, though, if Murphy ends up sitting. And so this is the lineup that I'm looking at currently, guys. I do think it'll end up changing as the night progresses because we are going to get, I think, some players being rolled out that does help us out a decent amount. It is kind of an ugly hand build type of night. So let's go and see what the 9-to-5 lineup builder is telling us is the best build. And so not really going to do much here, guys. Just going to generate 20 lineups here. And so the top lineup that spit out to us, guys, Maxey, George, Edwards. Again, I don't think we need to get to Edwards. Mitchell Robinson. I do not like this build. So I'm going to run again. We're not going to force a stack with a point guard. I don't think we need to do that. If anything, I think we'd want to get to 2 centers in the flex tonight. I think that could end up being the correct route to go. But overall, we'll see kind of what the lineup builder adjusts to here. And I would say a little bit better here. Again, I do want to begin to Bagley here, so I kind of like this lineup better. But as you guys can see, it is spreading out the ownership a decent amount. And let's see, it is getting to a bunch of Bagley and Maxey. We'll get some better value than Justin Edwards as the day progresses, but you guys kind of see the thought process of the lineup builder at least. That's going to do it for this video, though, guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel as well. That's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Good luck, and as always, let's keep cashing.